You're listening to Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about the past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook, and today we have David Maxwell joining us from Launceston. Welcome, David.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to have you with us.
That's good.
And this is a slightly bittersweet program this week because this will be your last program on Tassie Encounters Moments for some time. So, or maybe, who knows?
Who knows? Tassie Encounters at all.
But you are taking a little break at some point. So, because you're moving to a new place and doing new things.
Yes. I know our good friend David Edgar will be happy about this. I'm heading off to his church.
Yes.
And I'll be in Perth beginning of February 2026. So we're moving over there. We've received a call, and you always respond to God's calls.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here this week, and you've titled this week's program A Final Word. And I'll be interested to see what you've got to say as your final word, but I know there's more to it than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we look forward to that. So where would you like to start? I know you've got a bit of a question for our listeners to consider, but where would you like to kick us off today?
Yeah, what I'd like to kick us off with is the question for our listeners: what's your experience in losing or finding something valuable? So please text in. You've got the text number there, Jason.
0488. Yep, 0488 880 891 is our text number. So you can text us on. What is your experience of losing or finding something valuable? Now, I think you've got a bit of a story to share here, David.
I do. This week we're actually going to look at what was so important to Jude that he decided to forego an original message that he was about to talk about with our salvation. Like, what could be more important than that? And he decided to address another pressing issue. So I wanted to start with my own personal example of losing something valuable.
Sure.
Going through school, I was bullied a lot. I think I've shared in the past that I took up karate when I joined the Air Force. I did about 6 years, different styles, and I wanted to give myself self-confidence. There were other reasons why I did it, but I wanted to give myself self-confidence. And I also wanted to know that the training that I was doing was actually practical, and it could be something that would help me. So I decided to go into a kickboxing bout. And so they would match you up with someone else who had never fought before for your first bout. And I went into that. I won't go into details with the fight. It was intense. 3 2-minute rounds, or 6 minutes of your life, but it feels like an eternity. And I eventually won the bout, and I got a trophy for it. And for me, it was a significant trophy because I'd never really, up to that point, won anything. I'd won a running race at school, and I came third, and I thought, great, but there were 2 people who came second, so I didn't really come third, so I didn't get a certificate, I came fourth. So really I'd won nothing, and I kept that for a long, long time, and I've moved nearly 40 times since I left home. Wow. And so in all the moves, it's got lost. And to me, it was really, really valuable because it meant something. It really meant, hey, you've achieved something here, and you've got something to prove that you achieved it. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. And to me, that's losing something valuable. And I don't know if you've got a story to share of losing or finding something valuable that you wanted to share, Jason.
I don't have a particular story, but I've been cleaning up emptying out old boxes and stuff that we don't really need anymore, and trying to clear a bit of space up here and there. And it's nice when you come across something that you've forgotten about, and something that, as you said, has some sort of value, sentimental value. And it happens to me regularly when you've almost completely forgotten about it, and it brings back some fond memories, like your trophy.
Like maybe photos and things like that. Yeah. Well, there's an illustration that I read about some time ago, and it was about a valuable piece of art. I don't know if anyone listening actually knows the different old time artists, but this man was, I hope I pronounce it properly, Caravaggio, and this painting was in a French attic. And in 2014, a French auctioneer, Marc Labarbe, received a phone call from a friend saying that they'd found this painting in a home in France. And when they carefully removed it, they cleaned the dust off it. It looked like it was something quite valuable. So this man took it to carefully cleaned what he could, and then he took it to the appraiser Eric Turquin in Paris, and he just waited for a response. And when Turquin identified this, he actually identified it as the lost work of the Italian master Caravaggio, and it was a painting of. It was entitled Judith and Holofernes, and it's believed to have been painted in about 1607, so a long time ago. And when they valued it. They announced it in a press conference, and the announcement said, on June 27, Labarbe will auction it in Toulouse. I think that's how you say it, where it's expected to sell for up to 150 million euro, which is nearly 200 million Australian dollars, and we're probably close to 300 million Australian dollars now. So often we don't really appreciate the value of things, and Jude, Jesus' brother, appears to be highlighting something in this critical but short letter, and that's what I really want to look at today.
Awesome. So I'm guessing we're going to be reading from that letter today.
Yes, we're going to read a little bit as we go along. So that's all we're going to be addressing this week. So Jude starts out, and I'd like us to read a little bit today when we get there. I read a little bit about what Jude says. So maybe if you've got your Bible open in Jude, there, could you read Jude? For those who have electronic Bibles, we always say Jude chapter 1, but there is only one chapter. So Jude chapter 1 and verses 1 to 3.
Okay, and we're reading from the New King James Version. It says, Jude, a bondservant of Jesus Christ and brother of James, to those who are called, sanctified by God the Father, and preserved in Jesus Christ, mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. Beloved, while I was very diligent to write to you concerning our common salvation, I found it necessary to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints.
Thanks, Jason. So he starts to write, and he wants to write about our common salvation. Well, what's common about salvation, Jason? That sounds really...
Well, he's mentioning the saints there, delivered to the saints. So I'm guessing it's got something to do with something we share, something in common that we share.
Yeah, I would agree.
Am I on the right track?
You are. Look, when you look at Titus 1:4, the same phrase is used by Paul. So, I mean, what could be more important than our salvation? How could anything be of more importance than the topic of reconnecting with God and the eternal existence it gives us? That's the end result. I'm not saying that's the reason why we do it, although some might say, hey, I want a better life than this one. And that might be the instigator for it. But you grow in grace, and then you have that relationship with God. So something to think about is that when you're offered a gift, you have to accept it, don't you?
Normally, yes. If you want to benefit from the gift, you have to accept it.
Correct. So we recently had our ministers' breakup, and you were down there as well in Hobart. And at end of each year, we get a card. We get perhaps sometimes a small gift that says thank you for all your efforts this year. It's really appreciated. Now, that's great. Now, if you bring the card home and you never open it, you never read those words, it might as well have not been written. If you get a small gift card, it's great if you get the gift card, but if you put it in your drawer and never use it,
forget about it and wait.
Do you any good?
Particularly if you wait until after it's expired.
I guess you've had that experience.
I've had it, I think, almost happen a number of times.
So what I mean is this valuable painting, it's been sitting in this attic. And I don't know the history of the people who found it. They may have been quite wealthy. They might not have been. Imagine if they weren't wealthy and they had $100 or $300 million Australians paintings sitting in their attic while they struggled through life. And I do believe this actually happened to someone. It's another story of another painting. And that money was just tied up in that painting, sitting in the attic, and it could have improved their life. But it did them no value because they didn't know about it or they didn't access it. And so that painting is of absolutely no value unless it's found, valued, sold, and then the money's used. So the lesson I feel we can learn just from this overview today is unless we hold on to true salvation, as has been delivered by Jesus, unless we take advantage of it, it's no use to us. So as we go through this week, perhaps this is why Jesus tells the faithful church in Philadelphia to hold fast what you have, that no man may take your crown, and it's Revelation 3:11. So while salvation isn't common in the sense that it's unimportant, it's available to us all, but only as it's defined in the Bible. And I want us to look at that in depth today, a little bit more this week as we look through the book or the letter of Jude.
Awesome.
So don't you want to be assured of salvation and whatever else the Bible tells us is important? And if that's the case, stay tuned. And this week we've got some stuff to share with you.
Absolutely. We've also got a free book offer, so stay tuned for that.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
Our free book offer this week is called The Man Who Couldn't Be Killed. It's an incredible story of faith and courage during China's Cultural Revolution. His face was swollen from the beating the night before. His legs throbbed from standing through endless hours of interrogation. But his heart rejoiced at the opportunity to share his devotion to his best friend. Accused of being a counter-revolutionary, his persecutors thought they had taken away Mr. Wong's religious freedom and tried to take away his life, but they didn't know the intensity of their prisoner's faith or the power of his God. At the height of the Chinese Communist Revolution, Mr. Wong's unflinching courage for God and the miracles that saved his life will inspire you to believe that God is greater than any problem or circumstance. That's our book offer today. Text us in this code, TEM58, to 0488 880 891. That's TEM for Tassie Encounters Moments, number 58. No spaces. Text it into 0488 880 891. Thank you, David, and do join us again tomorrow where we look more at the book of Jude and what the problem really is that Jude is addressing in this letter. Thank you for joining us. May you encounter the life-transforming power of Jesus today. This is Ambrian with Worth of Souls.
You gave me wings to fly above the crowded streets, but there's no love. You gave me ways to figure out what this life is all about. You let me hear your voice that softly speaks, guiding me and gives me peace. You let me make my own mistakes, so I can learn what it best I know. Thank you for the ways I grow, showing me a place where I can stand. And I will not forget you gave your life for me. Not a gift too small to recognize. Standing at your door, you gave your hand to me. The worth of souls is great in your eyes. This life you've given me sure has tasted sweet. And now I know through all the noise, I sing out loud, you hear my voice. I feel that I've been blessed beyond my needs. And I will not forget you gave your life for me. Not a gift too small to recognize. Standing at your door, you gave your hand to me. The worth of souls is great in your eyes. And I will not forget you gave your life for me. Not a gift too small to recognize. Standing at your door, you gave your hand to me. The worth of souls is great in your eyes. It's great in your eyes. It's great in your eyes.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.